If you're setting automations which look cool, but they don't do anything necessarily, dude, business owners can literally smell them from a mile away. So don't even think of offering these automations to other businesses because, again, these such automations don't actually create any kind of value, or they are not at all profitable for the other business, or they're simply not even useful for any business in any sort of way. But here, I'm going to show you these three automations that businesses actually pay for and which do add some real value to the other business, which do prove to be useful for them, that solve real problems. So, without any further ado, I'll just get into the video. But before that, I wish you all a really, really happy new year. I hope this year brings you a lot of new experiences, a lot of new learnings, and this year does prove to be really productive and really efficient for you. Not just the pleasures, but full of learnings and full of experiences. So let's just get into these three automations that I have here. Okay, so first of all, let's just get to this invoice follow-up system. But before starting the video, I must tell you that in this video, I'm not going to show you the build or how to actually build these systems, right? I'm just going to show you the ROI and the real points, or basically what real problems these automations solve, so you can frame those sentences, frame those points in your offer, or creating an offer that would contain these pain points, and so it would be able to attract more customers or more clients, right? So first of all, let's just get to this invoice follow-up system you see here. So you see, this is the build, and this is like how the automation looks like, how the workflow looks like. We just execute this workflow so that we just get these pending invoices. Now again, it's just part of the build, but still, I would tell you that you can replace this execute workflow node with any schedule trigger. So you can set it up like schedule it every day for 10 in the morning so that this workflow just gets activated every day at 10 o'clock. And then what it does is it just scrapes all the pending invoices you might have, let's say, in a Google Sheet, okay, which contains all these information about all the leads and prospects you have and the other businesses you might already are dealing with right now. So just scrape all those records and then just filter out again. It's just kind of complex. So if you just go to the video, I'll just put it up here so you can just see the video. Here you'll get a much more detailed and much more efficient explanation of this whole thing. But yeah, this filter node right here, which does whatever, and then this distribute follow-up system, which just distributes the sequence into four different Gmail nodes, which are based on like if we gotta send the first follow-up, so it'll go to this path. If we gotta send the second follow-up, then this one. If the third follow-up, then this one. If the fourth one, then this one. Then this message a model thing, what it does is it just now you might also think that a lot of the CRMs out there or a lot of payment softwares, payment platforms out there do provide this service or do provide this feature of invoicing follow-up or basically following up with whatever invoices that are pending for you. So why is this thing working? Why did I say it actually solves a real problem, or why is it sellable? So the thing is very simple. These Gmail nodes you see right here, they are actually get many messages, which refer to the action that whatever message you might have already got from that particular prospect. So let's say I've worked with a guy James in the past week, and I've sent him an invoice which he hasn't paid. So I sent him this first follow-up that, hey, this invoice is pending. I hope you, I don't know, complete it in time, whatever that is. And let's say he replies to me with something like, hey, man, I'm just running short on money or something like that. And I'll just take a week and a half at max, and I promise I'll pay that invoice or anything like that. Okay. Let's just say he actually justifies his situation and all that stuff. So what it does is this Gmail node, it grabs those message or it grabs that previous conversation you might have had with the prospect, and then it is transferred to this OpenAI chat model. And then what it does, it drafts an updated message, which looks like you personally wrote it, which might also add the context of the previous message or previous conversations you had with the other person. So let's say a response comes out of this OpenAI chat model. It's going to look something like, "Hey, I know you told me you're going to pay this invoice within a week and a half, but I'm still making sure that you don't forget it or the thing just doesn't slip out of your mind." So you see, there's no fixed template. This one is actually an updated message. This one is actually something which the other person might feel that we wrote it ourselves, and that's how it actually serves as a real-time, human-like assistance system. And that's why this invoice follow-up system, this particular one, really acts something like a real-time assistant that's gonna handle all these pending invoices for you, right? That's how simple it is. And again, I'll just pin the video here so you can just go watch it if you want to see the whole build and want to get some more details about this particular system. But yeah, the ROI points or the real problems that it actually solves is so the first one you see that SMEs are burning 20 to 30 hours per month just chasing invoices, which is of course pretty huge for medium to large scale businesses and even small size businesses. Like 20 to 30 hours a month is a lot of time, right? And 20% of these SMEs are owed between 5,000 to 20,000 pounds in unpaid invoices, chasing late payments, all that stuff. Then the second one says that 80%, 87% of businesses get paid late and follow-ups clearly held. 87% of businesses are paid late. Businesses that follow up on 90% of these invoices are most likely to get paid within a week of the due date. And the offer idea or the core idea behind this solution, behind the system is why spend time and efforts on something that could be done much more sincerely and efficiently by a system, right? Why do you have to spend some time on that? Why do your team members have to spend any of their time on that? And also, there's this additional point that if you keep send, let's say you have this already set up system in either your CRM or your payment platform, and it just sends these fixed templates which do not ever refer to the previous conversations, then there is no way that the other person wouldn't recognize that it was just a an automated template or it was just sent by a bot, not by yourself. But if you actually using the system, if you actually, refer to your previous conversations, and when you talk with some previous context, then the other person might be taking it more seriously because they're simply gonna understand that we create or we sent this email ourselves. It wasn't any chatbot or it wasn't any bot or it wasn't any automated message. We typed it ourselves, right? That's the core idea behind this thing, and I hope I made it really clear. Then, second, we jump onto this client onboarding system, which is pretty fancy to look, pretty complex even, but I'm gonna make it much more easier for you to understand as compared to how it looks. So, okay, first you see here's a list of triggers that you can use in this onboarding system. So let's say whenever any new client is onboarded, then they fill in some form, or let's say you have created a jot form link or a type form link, and you've sent it to them to fill in all the information required for proper onboarding or to get some idea, to get some information about their particular business. So let's say you have shared this forms link with them, they fill in the form, this particular workflow gets triggered, then it creates a Google Drive folder where you could save all the resources and all the files related to the project. Then it's going to create this Drive link and it's going to eventually send it to them so that this Google Drive folder actually acts as an interface between you and the other person where you can just store all the project's files and resources and all that stuff. Then it also creates a client project inside Notion or any client project portal inside Notion or let's say ClickUp or any such project management software that you're using. Then it creates a Slack channel for the communication process. So if you're in the agency space for a while now, or if you've worked in this space for a while now, if you have any idea of how it works, so mostly we use this platform called Slack where we just create a channel, a communication channel between us and the customers so that we can manage these regular conversations and a consistent communication with the other person and our team members, right? Then we send them a welcome email finally, containing this Slack channel link and this project management portal link, this Google Drive link, so that they can just access to all of them. And as soon as they get signed in, or as soon as they fill in this form, this whole process just takes over and it gets done on time, it gets done really efficiently. Then send them the onboarding email containing some more links. And I don't exactly remember this, but again, if you just want to see this thing, if you want to see this build and get a more detailed explanation of this whole thing, then I'm gonna pin it up here right now. So you can just go watch the build, and I show exactly how you create this system so that you can just simply copy and paste it. But still, you gotta understand the fundamentals behind it, the logic behind it, and only then will you be able to sell it efficiently to other business or even implement it into some other person's system. Then you're going to notify your team using this Gmail note, like you're going to send a Gmail message to your team members that a new client just dropped in. Here are the project management portal details. Here's the Slack communication channels link. You can just join the channel and let's start the project right now, all that stuff. And send message to team Slack channel. So if your team also gets managed on this Slack platform and you have a channel where you create, where you communicate between yourselves and your team members, which also tells them that this client just came in and got signed. So this is the system, and why would businesses pay for this, or why is this? How is this solving any real-time problems? So you see, the first point tells us that this onboarding automation, or a sincere and efficient onboarding automation, actually helps us in retaining clients for longer as compared to normal, right? Then regular check-ins and clearly defined rules prevent miscommunication. Reducing the time it takes for clients to see tangible results leads to higher satisfaction and retention. So this other one says that these top agencies, according to this survey, 40% of them onboard new clients within 3 days, while the remaining 60% aim for completion within 1 to 2 weeks, which is, of course, a hell lot of time. 3 days to 14 days just for the onboarding process is just a lot. And shorter onboarding cycles equate to a revenue increase of 31%. Because again, it just relates to this client retention thing, that proper onboarding processes actually increase client retention. And that's why it just then indirectly affects your revenue and increasing it. Then investing in better onboarding experiences increase CLV, which is client's lifetime value, by 60%, again because of the client retention thing, and improving client onboarding can improve retention rates by 70%. Then again, even this one has this core idea that why spend time and efforts on something that could be done so much more efficiently and sincerely by a system, right? So I hope I made this onboarding process even really clear and really easy for you to understand, really easy for you to understand the value behind it. Then comes this leader reactivation system, which is, I've put this question mark right here because I've not uploaded a full guide or a proper guide to this on my channel yet, but I'm going to do it very soon. But yeah, for this video, I'm just going to show you why this system matters, or what is the value, what is the ROI that the system provides to you, or any business owner. Okay. So the first study you see I have here tells us that multiple marketing insights confirm that reactivating existing contacts is 5 times cheaper than acquiring new leads. So, okay, if you didn't already understand what this lead reactivation system does, it's basically like, let's say you have a consulting firm and you have been running it for the past 10 years. Now, during these 10 years, you have this whole bunch of leads that you have in your CRM or in your database, and you don't know what to do with them. They're just sitting in the CRM like a past client or someone who just had interest in your services sometime in the past. But now you just have no idea if you should contact them or if they are going to buy from you or anything like that. So what this system does it just takes all those leads, the whole database of leads, and it contacts them. Or if I just explain the working in even more detail, so what it does it categorizes all those leads in 4 segments, or 3 or 4 segments, based on their interest in our services. So let's say the first segment will contain the leads which already have bought from the consulting firm. Then the second segment would contain all the leads which were about to buy, but for some reason, for some financial or some such similar concern, they just didn't buy. And the third one, the third segment, that they didn't book a call, but they did inquire, but they did fill in the form, let's say from any of our ads or any of our inbound lead system. So they did fill in the form, but they didn't book a call, and still they have some sort of interest in our services. And also because now we have this whole database of leads, we don't actually have to pay for these new leads, like let's say through any ads or purchasing leads through any such database softwares like Apollo or something. So we already have this whole bunch of leads, and they are pretty much warm as well. They're not completely cold. There's someone who has had some sort of interest in our services, in our consulting firm services, and the chances of them converting into real clients or converting into revenue is going to be pretty much higher, pretty much more than if you were about to contact the completely cold leads, right? Then this one says that more revenue from existing data, which I just said, that cold lists aren't dead. They're dormant revenue potential. If even if only 5 to 10% of these leads reactivate, that's money that would have been left on the table. So let's say for this consulting firm's example, we have this database containing 5,000 leads, okay, which is pretty normal for a consulting firm because they're going to be such a decent or such a big company, they're going to have this whole bunch of leads database. So let's say of all those 5,000 leads, only 5% converted into real clients. So it's going to be 5% of 5,000. What is it? I guess 250. So literally, 250 leads. You just got 250 new customers, which is, again, this is a kind of hypothetical. This is not a real-time example. Out of those 5,000 leads, probably only 100 would convert or even less. But still, if you're getting hundreds of call booked, like through the system, so simply, while you don't actually have to pay for anything again or any such ads thing, any such inbound lead reactive or any such inbound lead system, you're still getting so many calls booked, then of course it is a profitable thing and it requires nothing. It just provides value upfront, and then when you actually book these calls for the other business, then you can charge them. You just showed them the value upfront, and then out of the value you provided to them, then you're going to charge something from that value, from that money you just made them. So that is this whole reactivation concept, reactivation system concept. And the core idea behind this one is that why let potential revenue keep sitting in your pipeline when it could be converted so easily? As I just gave you the example of 5,000 leads. Out of those leads, only even if 100 converts, which is just like even lesser than 5%, even then it's so much more profitable for the other business, right? So yeah, which would have not been possible manually without spending a ton of time and efforts yourself. Because 5,000, dude, how much time would it take for a human team to contact 5,000 leads? Of course, a lot. And especially when you're personalizing these leads according to these, segments and according to these situations, whether they were about to buy, whether they have already bought, or whether they didn't even book a call before, but they had some sort of interest or all that stuff. So these are the core ideas and concepts behind these systems, and I hope you really enjoyed learning about them, or this video till here did provide you with a lot of value and a lot of learning that'll actually help you identify which systems or which such automations convert and which do not. Now, let me tell you something. I really struggled myself in the past regarding these automations. That a lot of these automations and systems you see on YouTube, on the internet, they aren't real. Okay, they're simply just systems that don't work. There are just content creators out there who just have to put a video, like multiple videos each week, and they just have to produce content consistently so that they can engage with their audience consistently. Now, they're not going to always have new ideas, right? There are going to be a lot of times when they run out of ideas and run out of systems to show to their audience and stuff, and that's when they could potentially start teaching you, start showing you such automations and such systems that literally don't work, that are just there to see or which simply are usable, but they do not provide any kind of ROI. Okay, like you literally could automate anything to let's say you use NN, let's say you use Zapier, let's say you use Make.com, but you can you can automate anything with those, but that doesn't mean that all those systems or all those workflows are going to provide a decent ROI to you or any other business, right? There are only going to be selective ones which actually target the pain points or which actually target the real problems for other businesses, and these are the ones that are going to be sold or that are going to be able to at least convince other businesses to buy them, right? And you got to be really wise, really sincere when it comes to these automations, because when you're about to sell these systems, such workflows to other businesses, you're essentially contacting business owners, you're essentially contacting any decision maker in that business. What do you think? They're gonna buy it just like this? They don't have a mind, they don't have a brain of a 13-year-old. They're a business owner, or they're sitting at a decision maker's position in that company. They're gonna deeply look into whatever value you have to provide for them, and if your systems do help them in any sort of way or not, right? So ultimately, what I'm trying to tell you is that if you're an AI automation guy and you watch a lot of content related to AI automations and these and make.com workflows, then really be sincere and really be smart enough to categorize their systems into one that actually work, then second, which do not work and are just a part of the shiny object syndrome. Anyways, I hope you did get a lot of stuff to learn from this video and this did help you a lot, and I hope I was articulate throughout the video. Now also, if you're a business owner and are looking to forward such systems for yourself or any of such systems that I upload on my YouTube channel to implement into your business, or even test them out, or even get a personalized audit for yourself, for your business, and to check out what such systems and workflows and automations can actually work for you and make your team's tasks much more efficient, and so that you guys could function much more efficiently, then I'll just put in a link in my description. You can just go check out it and you can just reach me there. We can just book a call together. We can just book a conversation together and we can just, discuss some ideas and discuss potential points where such systems and such automations can actually help you a lot and where AI can actually step into your business and provide you a decent ROI, right? So yeah, that's it I have for the video and I hope you really enjoyed it. Happy New Year once again. I hope you have a really great year. I hope this 2026 brings you a lot of joy, brings you a lot of learnings, brings you a lot of experiences, and it actually proves to be a really good year for you. That's it. Thanks for your time, and yeah, bye bye.